The hopes and aspirations of millions of young Indian sportspersons get a huge fillip with the organization of this multi-sport extravaganza spread throughout this wonderful southern city of Bengaluru. It's the youngsters who want to showcase their talent, and who alone knows who the next set of heroes of Indian sport are going to be. But very soon, we will know. Hello and welcome to the Khelo India University Games. I'm Charu Sharma. I'm delighted to have the company of former India badminton international Tripti Murugunde. Tripti, what a great occasion for young Indian sportspersons, not just at the school level where there's been some organization, but now, very importantly, at the university level, something that was missing in the past.
Yes, why not? After the pandemic, I think this is something cheerful and healthy thing we are looking at. And it's happening in Namma, Bengaluru, to say. Also, the Indian sports has been an all-time high with the performances what we have seen in the Olympics. I think this is a fabulous moment to have this, and everyone is geared up. All the athletes here, even the volunteers, the organizing committee, everyone is geared up. I think the city is totally lit up and just waiting for the games to begin.
And so are we, of course, for the opening ceremony, which will start in a short while from now. Dignitaries coming in from all parts of the country. The Vice President will be here as the chief guest, and also, of course, the Minister of Sports, Anurag Thakur, is so closely connected with the world of sports, and of course, people from Karnataka. Tripti, let me go back to the whole concept of university games. Now, when I was in the university, some decades ago, university sports was very, very popular. Our inter-university tournaments used to be very well attended. I suspect it went through a bit of a dip later, perhaps in the 90s or the 2000s, but glad to see that it's on the up now. What about your time? Was university sports as important as we now think it is again?
Well, yes, not as much as the way it has been conducted. I mean, Khelo India is like, if I come now, and I have been at the first edition as well of the Khelo India University Games. And when I went there, I thought I was at a multi-sport international event, something like a Commonwealth Games or an Asian Games. The facilities, the arrangements, everything is at par done with the international standards. And I think something like that sort of an exposure, it's very, very vital for the athletes. Coming back to the university level, yes, very much, because that is a stage where an athlete, sort of has to take a call whether he wants to, go further in studies or, go do well in sports. But this sort of an encouragement, this sort of an exposure, I think it gives him or her a very clear idea where he wants to move.
Yeah, you make an important point, because it's all about exposure. I think that's a very important word in the world of sport. And I wasn't there in Odisha during the first edition of the Khelo India University Games. You were, lucky you. But I get your point, because if an extravaganza is organized very well, according to, should we say, an international look and feel, then the sportspersons get an idea of what they're likely to face in the future. Because in the past, the transition from junior sports, where India did rather well internationally, to the senior level was always an area of concern, and a lot of people fell by the way because they weren't exposed enough, and when they went to the senior international competitions, they were a little phased seeing everything that went on around the world. But I think that has reduced now with this exposure, and people, the youngsters, are just so much more confident and assured. You feel the same?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Charu. I remember my first Commonwealth Games. That was my first multiple event when we went. That was more of the excitement of, being in a Commonwealth village, and then the atmosphere. It's not only you are with your own country mates, but you're also the whole world, all the champions from all the sports. So you sort of got to get to live with them, see what they do, how they do. You got to eat with them. So I think this sort of exposure really helps. So if you have it at the national level, you're not very surprised when you go out there. And it's very important. And as you rightly said, in the juniors, because you have the limited categories or the limited age groups, so it becomes very, very crucial to perform immediately the very next year when you are into a senior level. So this sort of exposure, this sort of motivation, this sort of support, you get it at the right time, I think we can peak at the good time as well.
Well, there are an enormous number of sportspersons here from universities and colleges from around the country. Some, of course, are very strong, like the defending champion Punjab, but there are many others as well who are looking forward to showcase their talent. And there's no dearth of talent and ability and skill in the junior level in India. They just need a little more opportunity at, say, the university level. Now, they're all here in this magnificent city, as Tripti said, Namma, Bengaluru. And why don't we go take a quick look at some of the sights and sounds of this magnificent southern metropolis. There we go. We've got a fine new metro here, plenty of old monuments as well, wonderful parks. Tripti, we do know this called the Garden City, and even though there's been a massive amount of development, it's still very green. Look at that, just wonderful. And of course, the Vidhan Sabha, the seat of the Karnataka government, magnificent building, says government work is God's work. That's what's written out there. And I hope you've had pleasant experiences in my wonderful city.
Absolutely. I mean, I've been here for a really long time, and Bengaluru has really got me everything. You know, whatever I've achieved is from here.
I'm
so
glad
I
to
can
hear
proudly
that.
say that.
Yeah, but lots of development, as you can see. It comes at a price every once in a while, but we still have wonderful weather. The climate of Bangalore has changed just a shade. It's a shade warmer. Take a look at the State Central Library, Cubbon Park, Kantirava Stadium, but that's the main Chinnaswamy Stadium, beg your pardon, the cricket stadium. The palace in the middle of the city. The lakes, which we're all famous for, that's Alsur Lake, plenty of churches, other religious places as well. MG Road, as there is in every major city, and that's a lovely shot at night. And from Nandi Hills, taking a look at the rest of the city, he's got some wonderful large monolithic rocks around the city. That's Nandi Hills, which of course is a big favorite for all sorts of youngsters. But that is where we are now, the Kantirava Indoor Stadium, which is right in the heart of Bengaluru, and it's got a special roof, mind you. I was talking to those who made the stadium. It's got an eggshell roof, which means it's got this massive roof, no pillars, nothing, and yet the stadium stands. It's, of course, for basketball, for kabaddi, for every other indoor stadium here, indoor sport here. And I'm sure you have some good memories of Kantirava Indoor Stadium as well.
Well, I have memories of the outdoor, the athletic stadium. So that's where the place we used to do our physical training. So I moved to Bangalore when I was 14, and I think, yeah, we've seen a lot out there. So, yeah.
Well, Bangalore has the advantage, like many other cities, of having a fair number of stadia in the middle of the city. We took a look at the Chinnaswamy Stadium earlier, and the two Kantirava stadiums, the athletic stadium, the main stadium, and this, the indoor stadium, the Kantirava Stadium, are right in the heart of the city. What a privilege for sports persons not to have to go too far. But let's go now and take a look at all the stadia that are going to be used at the Khelo India University Games. They are spread far and wide. There's the Jain campus, which is very far away from the main city, but that's the Jain Sports School. We'll take a quick look at the venues, and that will remind you about the width and the scope of the games, because you know, this is a multi-sport extravaganza. It's not just one stadium, it's many of them, as we take a quick look at the list. All right, here we are, the Sri Kantirava Indoor Stadium where we are. Then the Field Marshal K.M. Karyappa Hockey Stadium. I think I'll be there for a while. That's also right in the middle, just a few, well, half a kilometer from here. The Sai Shooting Range, which of course is at the Sai Center, and the Jain Sports School, and finally, the big one, the Jain University Global Campus, which is outside Bengaluru in Kanakpura, but that's the main host university as it is. And I've got to say, Tripti, I think it's fantastic that the Jain University has done so much and so much attention on sport.
Yeah, I think they've always been known as a sports university. I remember, you know, they would look at the sports athletes in Bengaluru and ensure that they support full-hearted.
Well, at the Kantirava Stadium, athletics and basketball, that's the two stadiums, Kantirava Indoor and Outdoor. And the Field Marshal K.M. Karyappa Hockey Stadium will, of course, be seeing the hockey action, plenty of it. I think at the university level, it's still a very robust sport.
And of course, the shooting, you know, my favorite. I would be definitely looking forward to watch that, and it's happening at the Sai Shooting Range.
Yeah, Bangalore has a big Sai Center, just in Kengeri, slightly outside it. Well, it's actually inside town now because the town's grown so much.
And we have the football, the table tennis, and the badminton happening at the Jain Sports School.
And of course, the Jain University Global Campus, that's the big one. Look at the number of sports being held there. Weightlifting, wrestling, judo, kabaddi, volleyball, swimming, football, fencing, archery, yogasan, malkham, and tennis. We'll talk about two very special sports a little later, but that's a quick look at all the venues and all the sports, 20 of them in terms of disciplines that will be played during the Khelo India University Games. Now, Tripti, Abhishek has been going around. I think we'll just take a look at the stats as well. You want to take us through that very quickly? Ooh, that's gone past. So 10 days, the action. Let's take a look at that again if we can. All right, we'll get back to that. But Abhishek, Tripti, was out there a short while ago, and we've just shown you the names of these stadia all around the city of Bengaluru. But Abhishek was there to actually take a look at these stadiums, and he gives us a sense of how these stadiums are, the look and feel of all the participating venues. Abhishek, over to you.
तो मंच तैयार है। खेलो इंडिया यूनिवर्सिटी गेम्स का दूसरा संस्करण यहां बेंगलुरु में होने जा रहा है और पहला संस्करण ओडिशा में हुआ था, जिसमें पंजाब यूनिवर्सिटी चंडीगढ़ ने पहला स्थान हासिल किया था। इस बार ये देखने वाली बात होगी क्या कोई पंजाब यूनिवर्सिटी चंडीगढ़ को मात दे पाएगा। और कुल मिलाकर देखा जाए तो 4000 से ज़्यादा एथलीट, 190 से ज़्यादा यूनिवर्सिटीज़ 20 डिसिप्लिन्स में हिस्सा लेंगी और तैयारियां यहां पर ज़ोर शोर से हैं और ज़बरदस्त वेन्यूज़ भी हम देख सकते हैं। आइए उन वेन्यूज़ का मुआयना करते हैं। खेलो इंडिया यूनिवर्सिटी गेम्स 2021 का दूसरा संस्करण बस कुछ ही देर में शुरू होने वाला है और आप मेरे पीछे ये फुटबॉल ग्राउंड देख सकते हैं। यहाँ पे पुरुष के मुकाबले खेले जाएंगे और कुल 8 टीमें पुरुष फुटबॉल में हिस्सा ले रही हैं और पंजाब यूनिवर्सिटी इस टूर्नामेंट का फुटबॉल में आगाज करेगी। सावित्रीबाई फुले पुणे यूनिवर्सिटी पिछली बार पहले पायदान पर आई थी। इस बार ये देखने वाली बात होगी क्या इस यूनिवर्सिटी को कोई मात दे पाएगा। आप मेरे पीछे ओलंपिक साइज स्टेडियम देख सकते हैं और कुल 20 इवेंट खेले जाएंगे पुरुष वर्ग में और 19 इवेंट खेले जाएंगे महिला वर्ग में और श्रीहरि नटराज यहां पर सबसे बड़ा आकर्षण। ताकत और ताकत के साथ दिमाग का खेल वेट लिफ्टिंग के मुकाबले यहां पर खेले जाएंगे और कुल मिलाकर 49 यूनिवर्सिटीज इस खेल में हिस्सा ले रही हैं और 20 इवेंट में वो पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे।
Well, thank you, Abhishek, for giving us a better sense and look and feel of all the stadia that are being used for Khelo India University Games. I'm here with Tripti Murugunde, who, by the way, I met at various badminton tournaments in India many moons ago, thanks to my good friend Mohan Hemari, who one of the finest musical impresarios in India. Mohan, if you're listening, thank you very much. But of course, now, with the opening ceremony about to start, all sorts of major sports persons are entering the stadium. Sunil Taneja, part of our commentary team, is out there looking around for these guys, and he has his first interviewee. Sunil, over to you. Who are you with?
थैंक यू सो मच चारू। मेरे साथ मौजूद हैं भारत के ओलंपिक पिस्टल शूटर और अर्जुन अवार्डी प्रकाश नंचप्पा, who is a very proud Bangalorean because Bangalore is now hosting the prestigious Khelo India University Games. Prakash, first of all, welcome to DD Sports.
Thank you so much.
And how happy and excited you are to be the host now?
No, it's been wonderful to have this event here in Bangalore, and which is something very fortunate for the university people from here, athletes. So I think it's an amazing an exposure that's more important for these kids here.
And looking at the international level, Prakash, Indian shooters have done reasonably well at the world level, Asian Games level, even at Olympic level. And this is Asian Games and Commonwealth here. What are your expectations from Indian shooters?
No, definitely. Anybody as an Indian, all of us want to win this Olympic medal, and I think Indian shooters are doing extremely good these days. And kudos to them and the coaches. And long wait for us to go now. So grooming these young kids is again an advantage to have a better future in shooting for our country. So it's amazing.
And talking about grooming, I think there can't be a better platform than Khelo India University Games to train and spot our young shooters for the international level.
Yeah, it's a great thought that it started with Khelo India School Games and now the university. I think it's an amazing concept and steps taken by the government of India. It's amazing. Amazing. Looking forward for a lot of champions to be produced in coming future.
Thank you so much from the champion himself says that he's really confident and को काफी आशाएं हैं कि खेलो इंडिया यूनिवर्सिटी गेम से भारत को भविष्य के ओलंपिक और वर्ल्ड लेवल के स्टार शूटर मिलेंगे. Back to Charu and Trupti.
Well, thank you so much, Sunil. Great to see Prakash Nanjappa here, very much from this lovely state. And of course, the sport of shooting is something India is excelling in. And we have no doubt, Prakash has no doubt, that thanks to the Khelo India University Games, lots of other young shooters are also likely to star for India in the future. In fact, there are a couple of youngsters, Manu Bhakar, who started early, and also Saurabh Chaudhary, fabulous shooters, so very young. And I have no doubt that even during these games, the shooting discipline is something to watch out for. But something else that we're very fond of course, thanks to our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, is indigenous sports. Now, we know that two are being introduced here at the Khelo India University Games, the second edition, which is yoga and Malakhamb as competitive disciplines. To me, that sounds like a wonderful development because if we don't take our indigenous sports forward, who will, Tripti?
Absolutely. I think it's really important to take that, and it's such a great step our Honorable Prime Minister has taken. And Malakhamb, it is such a mentally and physically challenging. I really find it tough, and I wonder how these guys get onto those ropes or get onto those poles and just leave themselves. I think I'm really fascinated, and I'm looking forward to watch some of it.
Well, true, the Malakhamb athletes are like fabulous gymnasts because that's what it is, just one wooden pole, and the kind of poses that they showcase on that and the kind of robust athleticism is fantastic. And of course, yoga, well, what can I say? The whole world now has taken to yoga either as a sport or as a recreational or fitness activity. And if for nothing else, I know, of course, this is competitive, so there'll be judging, but even as a holistic fitness activity, yoga has taken the world by storm.
Totally. It's not only for the athletes. Yes, they are competing with that sport, but I think it's become for each and everyone such a healthy sport. Now, I may say it as, I think it is really taking the international stage very high.
Well, I'm looking forward to see how yoga is being judged because when you do it independently, of course, you do it at various levels, but there are people who are so flexible. And it's not just the flexibility, it's also the breathing aspect that goes with it. I can talk about yoga for hours, but of course we don't have the kind of time. Did you actually go through some yoga as a part of your training process? So many other top-level athletes in the world do.
Well, yes, we do have these agility exercises. I think flexibility, like in my sport, if I have to talk, the flexibility is quite important. And of course, the meditation part, it helps each and every sports person. It is very important. I think for every athlete, we have to do the yoga. I think it's going to, as you said, it's a holistic way, and it will help for their development.
Now, the kind of aches and pains I have, I need to take to yoga very quickly.
I was just going to come back to you that have you even tried
well,
yogasana?
I will soon. All right, plenty of people walking into the Kantirava Stadium here for the opening ceremony. I think we'll go across and take a quick look at hear from those who are at the stadium, around the stadium. What are the people thinking about the Khelo India University Games? The opening ceremony is about to come.
I'm looking up and I think in the camera.
हम लोग बहुत एक्साइटेड है इस इवेंट के लिए क्योंकि हमारा मलकाम इस इवेंट में पहली बार पार्टिसिपेट कर रहा है.
ये जो प्लेयर्स अभी प्रैक्टिस जो कर रहे हैं इधर, दे आर फ्यूचर ऑफ इंडियन वॉलीबॉल. So this is the very, very important event which is happening in India past 2 years, two events. So this is very, very important, and that the government has taken a fantastic step on this to identify the talent. जो टैलेंट है इंडिया में उसको आइडेंटिफाई करके ये इसके लिए करा रहे हैं. एंड वी हैव गॉट लॉट ऑफ इंटरनेशनल प्लेयर्स आल्सो फ्रॉम स्पेशली मेन boys जो है university and women also. Few international players भी they are participating. That is a good sign.
We came for here university, Khelo India University Games. Actually, we participate before also, but in national level, in before past 5 years onwards, for volleyball players especially, I don't know about another games, they're playing national games in the senior nations category. They will conduct very good atmosphere, all these things, but now for university players also, they are conducting Khelo India University with good facilities and with coaching camp and with equipments, with a good court, good food, accommodation, all this. I'm very happy to participate here.
This is a good opportunity for university players who are not will not get participated in nationals. It's a good opportunities for in university games. Here, accommodations, food, court, all are good. Especially, we can't get this type of court facilities in nationals also, means national games like that. It's a good opportunity. How's the Josh?
Hi sir.
How's the Josh?
Hi sir.
All right, the stadium is filling up now for the opening ceremony, which will start in just a short while. I'm Sharu Sharma. I've got Tripti Murgunde here with me. Tripti, just a short while back. Again, I don't know why I wasn't here, just like I wasn't there for the first edition of the Khelo India University Games, but you were, I think on the 1st of April, when we had another very important ceremony right here at the Kantiraba Indoor Stadium. You want to tell us more about it?
Well, I witnessed a very spectacular event, and it was a logo launch, it was an anthem launch, and the jersey launch. I think the logo has some unique feature where you have the Vidhan Sada building along with 2 elephants on the either of the side, and of course the mascot Veera. I think Veera the elephant, which the Karnataka is known for it. So I think they had a spectacular with that peppy song, the peppy anthem which was played. I think I was getting goosebumps then.
Well, it was an important ceremony, just setting the tone, the pace for the Khelo India University Games. That was about 4 weeks ago. So what we will do is, in case you missed it, we'll go back and take a quick look at the vignettes of the logo and the anthem launch back in early April. So we'll take a quick look at that and come back with much more from the stadium.
The official launch of the mascot, jersey, logo and anthem of India's largest national level university games, Khelo India University Games. खेलो इंडिया यूनिवर्सिटी गेम्स का जो आज लोगो हमने लॉन्च किया है, मैं उस लोगो को अपने फेसबुक पर, अपने ट्विटर पर, अपने इंस्टाग्राम पर, मैं अपनी डीपी के रूप में अपने व्हाट्सएप पर भी लगाने वाला हूँ। आई वॉन्ट टू क्रिएट अवेयरनेस अबाउट द खेलो इंडिया यूनिवर्सिटी गेम्स बेंगलुरु 2021। जिसके पास मोबाइल फ़ोन है, फ्लैश लाइट ऑन कर सकता है। मैं समझ सकता हूं कि वो लोग अपना डीपी अपने डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म्स पर, अपने सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स पर लगाने के लिए तैयार हैं। देखते हैं बेंगलुरु कितना तैयार है। स्विच ऑन करो। सो वी आर रेडी टू मेक खेलो इंडिया यूनिवर्सिटी गेम्स बेंगलुरु 2021 एज आवर डीपी। सो एनीवन हु इज शोइंग द फ्लैश लाइट्स आई कैन। तो आपने मन बना लिया है?
Okay. And we'll do quickly.
There we go. Oh, wonderful shot. I love that. We're made to look very tiny, Tripti. But yeah, a lot of inspiration provided by the Honourable Sports Minister, Anurag Thakur, as I've said earlier, very closely involved with the world of sports in India, of course, cricket primarily, but now as the Minister of Sports for every sport. All right, we'll just remind you very quickly about some of the facts of the Khelo India University Games in terms of how many days, how many sports, so on and so forth. And here's a quick look at it again. We'll get there in a second, don't worry. So it's 10 days of competition. We'll get to the graphic quickly, and then we will make sure that you know the scope of the games, because, you know, it's not easy to organize. Number of events, 20. So that's a little more than the first Khelo India University Games, and I can only imagine the kind of effort that goes into it. But look at the number of universities, 189, Tripti, that's magnificent. I think it was about 160 last time.
Yes, I think with the inclusion of the Malkam and Yoga Sun, I think they have touched the number of 20 disciplines, which is really, really good, you know, considering at the university level. And again, more than 4,000 participants.
Wow.
And you have about 275 gold medals at stake. It's going to be a very exciting one.
Well, one of those gold medals would surely have been won by the guest that is now ready and waiting to chat with us with Sunil Taneja. Oh, Sunil, over to you.
Thank you so much, Charu. And I have with me the star former Indian athlete, Ashwini Nachappa, who is, you know, head over heels because Bengaluru is hosting the second edition of Khelo India University Games. Welcome to the DD Sports, ma'am.
Thank you. Absolute pleasure.
And how excited you are to play the host this time to the University Games?
It's great to see Bangalore hosting one of the mega events after a long, long time. I think everybody is excited. There's a lovely vibe all across the stadiums. And I think for me it's very important to see, because this is one of the events which is a high-level competition, and it's also one of the base level to select for the national teams. So you'll have really good athletes from across the country really trying to make it into the Indian team. So wishing the event a grand success and wishing all the athletes the best performance.
And not just Bangalore, the whole state of Karnataka is famous for its cricketers, its star hockey players, the athletes and the swimmers. So what impact these university games will have on the overall sports structure of the state?
I think mega events such as this will always develop and bring about a sporting environment. You know, for the host university like Jain University to be hosting this with thousands of students, it inspires younger generations and many more universities to be seen to be doing such big events, and to also bring to forefront the students who are performing well in various sports. So it's great to see this happening, and I'm very, very excited about it.
We're also excited to interview the star Indian player, and very excited to be a part of this historical Khelo India University Games. Thank you so much, ma'am, for speaking to us.
Thank you so much.
Let's go back to Charu Sharma and Trupti Murgunde.
Thank you indeed, Ashwini. She's a very inspiring figure, of course, a great athlete, good friend of mine. And by the way, she's kept in touch with not only sport, but education as well. So she knows what she's talking about, because she runs, along with her husband, the Karambaya Academy of Learning and Sport in Gonikopa in Coorg. A wonderful academy with lots of sporting options as well. So when she says that extravaganzas such like this, as this one, are very inspiring for the youth, they absolutely are. Massive opportunity. But a short while ago, Tripti, you talked about April 1 when we had our logo launch and the Anthem launch as well. Now, I didn't quite get to hear the Anthem. We saw plenty of inspirational speeches then, but here's a quick look at the Anthem of the Khelo India University Games 2021 technically, but 2022 now. Well, I certainly thought some of those visuals were very contemporary. Great to see some of the big athletes there and the facilities as well. What did you think of the anthem?
Did you get some goosebumps?
I was on a leap as well, but I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel that I was still playing the university games, seeing this sort of magnitude, the way it is conducted, I would have just loved to be part of it as an athlete, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, now you're a different role, by the way. You're in the media, you're on television, but I can understand from the athlete's point of view, all these anthems are very inspiring because they set the stage for you. Right, talk about setting the stage here at the Kantirava Indoor Stadium. We're about half an hour away from the start of the opening ceremony of this second edition of the Khelo India University Games. We thank you for your company, and of course we thank those who've come here into the stadium to watch the opening ceremony as well. Now, Manish Jolly and Swarnalata, part of our commentary team, are out there among those who've entered the stadium, and let's hear from them and their thoughts along with the rest of those who they may be sitting next to. Manish, Swarnalata, over to you.
Well then, here we are sitting at the lovely gallery, and of course the commentators have a big role to play, and why not? I tell you what, we've got a select panel of commentators who've covered big events, the Olympics, Asian Games, Commonwealth Games, all the domestic level tournaments, the national championships. And I tell you what, these commentators have come from various parts of the country. My name is Manish Jolly, and I'm not alone. I've got with me somebody who's been an ex-kabaddi player. Swarnalata is there with us. And of course, who else but the mascot is also there with us. Swarnalata, how are you feeling today?
Amazing. It's surprising and excited too. As a former player, I'm really feeling like even today, while I'm doing the commentary, I feel like I'm playing. पहले कैसे होते थे ना, गेम खेलने के बाद पीछे जाके मैं ऐसे खेलना था वैसे खेलना था, ऐसा फीलिंग होते थे अंदर से, लेकिन अभी मैं सबका रोल निभा सकती हूँ.
I tell you what, the commentators, what exactly are they doing? They've been here well before the start of the university games.
They have their notepads, they have their bunch of papers, they're all prepared. We've got some select panels. They'll bring you live coverage from all the venues. And the biggest part is that we've got two indigenous disciplines also, Yogasan and Mallakhamba.
Mallakhamba, yeah. It's really growing like anything. The sports festival, it's not less than anything else. It's like an international platform, what we are creating for the players who are participating here. In fact, we have some of the players with us. So let's have an interview with them. Come on. Hi.
Hi.
Are you all enjoying? Yes, with me, the football team players are sitting.
पिपली मोहांती.
मोहंती, आप enjoy कर रहे हैं?
Yes. बहुत enjoy कर रहे हैं हम लोग सब. बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है. खेलो इंडिया पहली बार आई हूँ तो अच्छा लग रहा है. बहुत सारा प्लेयर लोग आए तो बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है गेम.
Over to Munish.
Yeah, I'll just take you. There's somebody everybody will recognize. Veera is sitting there with us. Veera, just nod your head. Just nod your head a bit. Wonderful. That's lovely to watch. It's all happening here. I tell you what, we've got the athletes who will participate. We've got the Odisha football team behind us. But the commentators have done their preparation well. We've gone and spoken to almost every team, and we'll try to give the best in this coverage of the second edition of Khelo India University Games. और स्वर्णलता, आप क्या कवर कर रहे हो?
मैं तो कबड्डी एंड वॉलीबॉल कर रहा हूँ. ऐसे फील हो रहा है ना, इतना मजा आ रहा है मुझे तो no words है.
Well, then the cheer is coming for everybody here. Everybody is a participant here, and of course, we as commentators have a big role here. So the last cheer will come from everybody who is sitting here, and we'll go back to Tripti and Charu very soon. The last cheer from everybody. Are you excited? Back to Tripti and Charu.
Well, Manish, Swarnalata, thank you so much for bringing us some of the thoughts and the excitement of those in attendance here at the Kantirava Indoor Stadium. There's also a possibility that we might be able to show you the kind of effort that Doordarshan is making to try and bring this Khelo India University Games. As you can imagine, 20 disciplines, plenty of stadia. That means an enormous number of camera persons, of technical officials, of commentators as well, of OB vans spread across all these different stadia. And I wonder if we can actually bring you a sight of all of the preparations that Doordarshan has made. But yet, of course, it's a massive undertaking because it's not only going on Doordarshan but other media as well.
Well, yes, I know we have about 30 plus commentators who are involved apart from us. And I think it's a massive, as you said, it's such a massive setup, and it's a very good sort of viewership what we are looking at, because we need to spread these sort of games which are happening. We need to show what our athletes are doing and give that sort of exposure to them.
All right, the PA is on, trying to get some emotions out of those who are present here, but as they speak, I can't hear you, Tripti, so you'll have to be a little louder as we go along. Well, I tell you what, 20 disciplines. We talked about yoga and Malakam, but also Kabaddi, one of these indigenous sports, which has been given a big fillip now in India. And some others that are very important. I mean, hockey, for instance, I'm really looking forward to it because India are rising once again in hockey. I wonder if you've been noticing, or do you notice only the fact that we're doing really well in badminton?
Not really. In fact, the interesting thing is that I started with hockey even before
I
badminton.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, well
so
done.
yeah, I did play hockey for a while, and then I switched to badminton. But
May I
as
ask
you said,
why?
It's a big story.
All right. Okay. Maybe you don't have the time for it. But
Yeah,
we'll try it later.
when I went to enroll myself, they said there's no place in badminton. Why don't you play hockey? And that is
hockey's
how.
lost. Badminton's gain.
But as you said rightly, hockey is doing extremely well. We've seen it, how they have done, not only the men, but also the women, how they've performed at the Olympics. I think that has brought back the sport again into the limelight. And again, we are seeing not only the A team, but also the B team doing well, the juniors doing well, and a lot of massive investment also been done by the government to support our national sport.
The Khelo India University Games does have an age limit. I think it's 25. So you've got to be younger than that because obviously it's at the university level. But there are a lot of sports where people tend to excel very quickly. For instance, in swimming, at times 15, 16, 17-year-olds do really well. And one of the big Khelo India University Games success stories has been Srihari Nataraj, the swimmer, who I think in many ways was discovered during the first Khelo India University Games, and he went on, of course, to become an Olympian. He's one of these wonderful success stories, but I'm sure there are many other sports where these success stories are waiting to happen and waiting for us to talk about them. But in badminton, luckily, they're doing really well. India, generally speaking, lots of youngsters bursting through. But just before that, though, Raghu is here, V. Raghu, one of our leading hockey players, along with Sunil. So Sunil, if we can hear from V. Raghunandan, it'll be good to hear his thoughts as well. Sunil, over to you if you're ready.
इंटरव्यू के बिना कैसे जाने दूंगा भाई को मैं
Get other sports persons as soon as they arrive here. We'll have the opportunity to talk to quite a few when they do arrive. Raghu, I think, is busy meeting other friends. But just back to sporting prowess. The age of 17 to 23 is such a key age to break through to the top level, as we were saying, the senior level. And which sport do you feel India has, which could be the next big sport for India?
Well, I think we have seen a massive change. If we talk about the last Olympics, I think that's still fresh in our minds. And we've seen that it's not been one or two sports where we have excelled, but in a number of sports. So I think that itself is a good sign. And if you ask me a particular sport, I think boxing is doing very well. We are hoping some medals from wrestling as well. And badminton, yes, why not? It's my sport. So have been doing well. Fortunately, we've had last 3 consecutive Olympics. We've been getting a medal at the Olympics, and we will do so.
By the way, that's just fantastic. For us to be regularly on the podium at the Olympics in badminton, what a fantastic change. I know we've got fabulous players from the past, but when it was introduced to the Olympics badminton, India has certainly made it a sport of its own. Do you think the next generation coming through in badminton is just as talented? Lakshya Sen doing very well now?
Yes, along with Lakshya Sen has definitely proved himself quite a lot in the recent times, and he's been playing very well for last 6 months. But we also have few other juniors. We have Gayatri Pulela Gopichan and Treza Jolly, the doubles pair, who have extremely done well at the All England, which recently concluded. And we have our, I wouldn't say young, but yeah, they have already played at the Olympics. The doubles, men's doubles pair of Satvik and Chirag. And we are quite hopeful for them doing well in the coming Olympics. So we have a few youngsters who are coming up now. It's just a matter of time, and I'm sure they will do well.
Time and opportunity, which of course is being provided in plenty by schemes such as TOPS. All the athletes, the top athletes, certainly very well looked after these days compared to the past. I think Sunil Taneja does have V. Raghunandan with him now. So Sunil, if you can hear me, go for it.
Well, of course, जैसा कि आप देख सकते हैं हमारी camaraderie शुरू हो चुकी है from PHL days to HIL days to Indian hockey team days. I have with me the superstar of the Indian hockey team, the former Indian drag flicker and defender V.R. Raghunath. Welcome to the pre-show of the Khelo India University Games, Raghu.
Thank you. It's a wonderful, and it's everyone is welcome here, and enjoy the next 6 to 7 days of Khelo India Games going on here. And you can see the atmosphere. We're trying to match the level of the every states, and just come enjoy the Bangalore weather and the hospitality of here.
And I have to talk to you about hockey because we both are the great fans of the game. Whenever we talk about hockey in the Indian universities, which are the few universities that you will have your keen eye on as a selector?
No, being a selector, yes, it's always 17 to 21 years. A lot of kids will be here. I'll be eyeing most on hockey only because I'll be following that. And if I get real budding talent, so we'll be getting them and we'll be observing them for the next probables in future. So I'll be writing some names this time.
And talking about the real talent, we have seen Harmanpreet, we have seen Rupinder, we have Varun at the Tokyo Olympics, and this is Asian Games here. What are your expectations from these star Indian current players?
I think we should be Asian number one. That's the only chance we have left in from my batch. So we want to retain that Asian number one and qualifying first for the Olympics. So the Asian Games winning gold is one of the most important and challenging and first step for the Olympics again.
Absolutely, that's a dream and the expectations of every Indian hockey fan, Raghunath and myself included, that Indian hockey teams win the gold at the Asian Games and qualify directly for the Paris Olympics. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Raghu. Back to Trupti and Charu.
Thank you, Sunil. Raghu, of course, a fabulous drag flicker from Karnataka, and he will soon be a part of the proceedings here in the opening ceremony, which should begin in just about 15 minutes. But we thank you once again for joining us. I'm Charu Sharma. I've got Tripti Murugunde here with me. We're both delighted to be a part of the Khelo India University Games. The second edition, she was a part of the first edition, which I wasn't. But, there have been many improvements. We talked about some of the numbers, just about 3,000 or so, or even less participants.